Hi, this is Michael Valverde, director of No Witness. And instead of giving you a long, drawn-out commentary about angles and meanings and things that really I don't think you care about, what we wanted to do was give you a quick snapshot of what it was like to make this movie and some of the great and talented people that were behind the scenes. So I hope you enjoy it.
Before we get started this evening, I'd like to address a very sensitive subject. It's about the recent allegations that the District Attorney's Office has brought against me in these indictments. First of all, I'd like to say they are nothing short of slander.
It's very rare, and especially on a small film like this, where you get the opportunity to sit down with other talented actors and really discuss the play-by-play and figure it out and put some intelligence into it and go, where are we going with this? And what is the common goal we're trying to achieve?
I was completely amazed when we started putting together this movie, the kind of cast that we were able to get. I met Steve Barnes, for instance, on Losing Grace, and we worked together on another film called Insanity. He's done a lot of television, and he just was the perfect guy for Arcadian. When we sat down and thought about who was going to be the right, imposing figure for this, it was Steve Barnes. And then Jeff Fahey came into the fray early in the game and was the perfect senator. He's been in films like Wyatt Earp and heck, he was the Lawnmower Man, if you remember that, and spent some time in Silverado. And, you know, so someone like Jeff Fahey was just a great find for us. And then Corey Feldman, who we all know from Stand By Me and films like Goonies and, gosh, The Lost Boys. I mean, what an amazing performance he's put out in this particular picture, becoming Mark Leiter, who I think it's just an amazing comeback for him. You're going to see something, a side of Corey Feldman that you've never seen before. And then, you know, Michael Damian, who was actually, is on The Young and the Restless now and has spent a great deal of time on Broadway. He was Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You know, just an accomplished actor who came and gave us a couple of days and did an incredible role with the DA. And then we were able to bring in, you know, on top of that, Marissa Petraro, who has done some really great work. She was in Pumpkin opposite Christina Ricci, and she did Tomcats a couple of years ago. And she was named to the 100 Most Beautiful Women in Maxim, which, you know, I guess is quite an honor. So, you know, what an amazing cast that we were able to pull together.
I just can't wait to eat the waffles.
They got themselves a very talented and interesting cast of characters. Fortunately for them, very solid actors who brought a lot more to the table than just the playing chips.
Corey's great. I mean, everyone knows Corey from all the big movies that he did, so we're just so happy to have him. I mean, it was great that timing worked out, that he was able to do the project and he loved the script. And the whole time, it's like I saw him in that role. It was so weird that he had submitted for the role, because we had actually, the director and I had talked about, it'd be great, you know, to get Corey Feldman. And what do you know, like a day later, his agent submitted his stuff unsolicited. He didn't even know we were thinking about him. So that was, a lot of things have aligned in this movie, which kind of scares me as our first big, you know, feature project. Will it always come together like this? Probably not, but we were happy to get him. He's just a true pro. I mean, the guy's been, since he was 3 acting, so you see him on the set and it immediately brings out a better part of you. I mean, it brings out such a great side. I mean, acting with somebody that's been doing it so long, it just raises you, the bar gets raised so high.
You know, Steve Barnes, who plays Arcadian, he's playing a really good hitman. He's playing some nice, subtle stuff. I wish we only have one scene together, and it's literally me. It's Arcadian coming out of the bathroom after he killed, you know, Celeste and Senator Haskell. He's coming out of the bathroom. I'm going in. You know, so we brush shoulders for a moment. That's my scene with Steve, but it was really fun. I'm glad we had that moment because I've known him for a million years, and so it was really fun to finally, you know, just have one moment of eye contact with, you know, with the hitman Arcadian, and you know, it was a thrill. I had a really good time.
You could stick a bullet in here and it would not pierce the product. I guarantee.
If you don't mess my hair up. I've got.
I met Michael Damian. I did a commercial for him in 1980, I think 88, for his band. He had a #1 song in the country, Rock On. He did a cover of Rock On, David Essex' old song. And so I made the commercial at a station I worked at in Austin, and he was coming into town, heard the commercial, and asked somebody who made that, I really like it. And so the person that he knew called me and said, hey, Michael Damian really liked this commercial. I wanted to meet you. So we met and instantly hit it off and became friends. And then he, ironically, got me my first job on TV in 1990 on Young and the Restless.
It's been great working with Steve. You know, we don't particularly, well, we start off in the movie kind of, you know, being flirtatious, or I'm being flirtatious with him the first time I see him. And then I don't realize that he's going to kidnap me. And he puts me in a dog cage for a couple of days. And I try to somehow, I guess, break him down. And that doesn't really work. I go to extremes of, you know, taking my clothes off. Doesn't work. Doesn't work with Arcadian.
Marissa's been great. She's what they call a method actress. So she's pretty much always in character. I'm not like that. I can pretty much just turn it on. That's just how I like to play around. And then it's time, and I just focus and go. She stays in character, so it's a weird dynamic because there's not a lot of playing around. So it's not like summer camp, you know, in between scenes. She's just really, her character's very emotional and goes through a lot of emotional rides. So she kind of has to do that. She has to lock herself down. You know, I'm just out there to kill and to be, you know, when I come on the set in my scenes, I take control of the scene pretty much, so I don't have to, you know, bounce around this emotional world. She's, you know, all over the map. She's playing a girl with a weird, you know, bipolar disorder, and it's one of those, I can't relate. So I just watch her do her thing, and I'm just in awe.
When I'm directing, I'm thinking about really just the collaboration between myself and the artist that I'm working with, and finding that balance, sort of staying out of my own way a lot of the times and letting the actors find the character, and then just literally, you know, like an oar or a rudder on a ship, just nudging them back in when they need to be nudged, but letting them find the character and letting them bring to the character what they feel, you know, is the inner workings of the character. And so my directorial style is somewhat technical, and, you know, and then just a nudge here and there with the actors. So I try to provide a certain amount of freedom, and I think that really allows us to get a rapport that I hope shows on the screen.
Michael is, he's a wonderful director, but he has this wonderful energy that's just very calming, and I think it shows on the set. I always say, if the set is calm and everyone's having a great time, it's because the director is calm and, you know, and everything's kind of moving along smoothly.
Before you know it, everybody's trying to outdo each other in, you know, character and performance, and thinking it out and making it intelligent and making the right choices. And, you know, inevitably it became a working environment where, you know, all of us were intrigued by each other's art form and wanting to match it and wanting to take it to the next level. And I think that what we've gotten as a result is going to be a very interesting piece of work.
Working with Jeff Fahey is an absolute pleasure. This guy is, I mean, he is a professional. You know, sometimes when you've done your coverage or your close shots, now it's time to flip the camera around, and the other actor has to deliver lines to you, and you really want that actor or someone to give you that same emotion to help you recreate what you just did in the big master shot. So Jeff is really great at giving you all that energy and that spontaneity, that spontaneous, you know, reactions, and all, you know, the line deliveries are spontaneous, and he gives you a lot to work with, and that's a true pleasure to work with a gentleman like Jeff.
I just can't wait to eat the waffles.
We shot No Witness in Atlanta in December of 2003, and what we were really doing was testing an idea that we had, that we could make a movie that would be comparable in look and feel to what you see in Los Angeles, or in Hollywood as we all like to call it, for $20 million, but we shot this film for under $250,000 using technology that is just mind-boggling today. The kinds of things that we could do with smaller crews, you know, less lighting, the ability to move the camera quickly, and I hope that the results are telling, and we're really excited about what we were able to accomplish, and we look forward to doing more pictures just like this.
Cut. Good for sound. Everybody good?
All right, let's turn around.